Welcome back to your recommended weekly dose of the NFL.
Get ready to get the lowdown on all of last week's games with a look ahead to next week's action. This is the ins and outs of football.
Our top story this week takes us to the Meadowlands, where Redskins quarterback Robert Griffin III made his New Jersey debut in a closely contested game against division rival New York Giants.
After a relatively quiet first three quarters, both offenses came alive in the fourth.
RG3 and his 2 touchdown throws were no match for Eli Manning's 77-yard touchdown pass to Victor Cruz with under 90 seconds left to win 27-23.
Moving on to the other New York team, the Jets took on their perennial rival, the New England Patriots, last Sunday in a hard-fought game decided in overtime.
The Jets were unable to take advantage of Patriot mistakes as they had several costly dropped passes in the fourth quarter.
Instead of marching to the end zone for the game-winning score, a dropped pass forced the Jets to kick a game-tying field goal late in the fourth.
Tom Brady did what he does best and led his team to a game-winning field goal in overtime as the Pats beat the Jets 29-26.
In the battle of the top teams in the AFC, the Houston Texans creamed the Baltimore Ravens.
It was clear that the Ravens were decimated with injuries, including all-pro defender Ray Lewis.
When the dust cleared, Matt Schaub had thrown for 2 touchdowns and Arian Foster ran for 2 more in the 43-13 massacre.
Our shootout of the week comes to you courtesy of the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This game featured 7 touchdown passes and 800 passing yards between the 2 quarterbacks.
Drew Brees and the Saints narrowly beat out Josh Freeman and the Bucs 35-28 in a game that came down to the very last play.
What an amazing week of football! Except the Browns, who lost. I can't wait to hear what we're in for next week. What do we have on tap, Lindsay?
One game I'm looking forward to this weekend is the divisional matchup between the Giants and the Cowboys. This is an intense rivalry that always features physical play.
Let's see if the Giants can avenge a loss to the Cowboys earlier this season and take control of the division.
Next up, we have another battle of elite quarterbacks as Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos face off against Drew Brees and the Saints.
This is also the first game for Saints interim coach Joe Vitt, whose 6-game suspension for his role in the Saints bounty program has ended.
Monday night's game between the Cardinals and 49ers promises to be a defensive struggle as both teams are in the top 5 in the league in pass defense. And finally, the Chargers head east to take on my Cleveland Browns in a game that could prove to be more than they bargained for. Look for quarterback Brandon Weeden and wide receiver Josh Gordon to continue to get better together and attempt to upset the Chargers.
And don't forget the Jets matchup with the Dolphins, featuring a newly single Mark Sanchez. I'm from Texas too.
Hope you all enjoy the NFL action. That's a wrap for this week.
Want to discuss the show or ask us specific questions? Join the conversation on Twitter at The Ins and Outs Of. Like us on Facebook where you can post comments, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss a minute of the action.
See you next time for another episode of the Ins and Outs of Football.